There are only 3 ways to get rich. That's it. This statement is designed to cut through the noise. It is a filter for your focus. Most people chase 1,000 different shiny objects. They try get-rich-quick schemes. They follow gurus selling complex financial products. They end up confused, exhausted, and no closer to their goal. The reality is that all legitimate paths to significant wealth fall into one of 3 distinct categories. Understanding these categories is the first most critical step toward designing a life of financial freedom. It provides a map. It gives you a framework for decision-making. This clarity is not just a mental exercise. It is a practical tool. When you know the map, you can finally choose a destination. You can plot a course. Every opportunity that comes your way can be measured against these 3 paths. Does this new job offer a significant increase in earning potential? Does this business idea have the potential to scale? Does this investment align with a long-term strategy? Without this framework, you are just reacting. With it, you are acting with intention. You are moving from a state of passive hope to one of active, strategic execution. Financial independence is not an accident. It is the result of a deliberate process. The world of finance is intentionally complex. Complexity is a product. It is sold by advisors, fund managers, media outlets. They profit from your confusion. They want you to believe that you need them to navigate the treacherous waters of money. This is a myth. The fundamental principles of wealth are incredibly simple. The more variables you add to any system, the more points of failure you introduce. Simplicity is robust. A simple plan is one you can understand, remember, and execute consistently, even when life gets chaotic. It is a plan you can stick with for the long haul. Think of it like a recipe. A master chef might create a dish with 50 ingredients and complex techniques. You could try to replicate it and fail. Or, you could master a simple recipe with 5 high-quality ingredients. You can execute that recipe perfectly every single time. That simple, consistent execution will yield better results over a lifetime than a single failed attempt at a masterpiece. Wealth is the same. A simple, repeatable process of earning, saving, and investing will outperform a complex strategy that you can't maintain. Simplicity allows for consistency. Consistency is where the magic of compounding happens. Let's name the 3 paths to remove any ambiguity. Earn, build, invest. Every story of self-made wealth you have ever heard is a combination of these 3 activities. Someone earned a high salary and invested it wisely. Someone built a company and invested the profits. Someone earned a modest living, built a small side business, and invested the extra cash flow. The variables change, but the core mechanics do not. Your task is not to invent a 4th path. Your task is to master one, then leverage it into the others. Most people get stuck because they try to do a little bit of everything, and they master nothing. The first path is the most familiar. You trade your time and skills for money jobs, salaries, freelancing. You are an employee or a contractor. The core mechanic: perform a valuable service. Someone pays you. For 99% of people, this is the starting point. It's the foundation of all wealth. Without income, you have no capital to invest. So optimizing this path is a prerequisite for the other 2. The goal: maximize the surplus between what you earn and what you spend. The steps to master this path are straightforward. First, acquire a high-value skill: software engineering, high-ticket sales, digital marketing, specialized trade. Second, become one of the best: continuous learning and deliberate practice. Third, learn to negotiate your value effectively: salary negotiations, freelance rates, project fees. Finally, live below your means and save aggressively. High income with high expenses goes nowhere. Example: a user experience designer. She doesn't just learn the software, psychology, user behavior, business metrics. She works at a company. She also takes freelance projects. She tracks outcomes to prove her value. She commands $150 instead of $50. As income triples, expenses stay the same. That discipline creates a massive monthly cash surplus seed capital for Path 2, seed capital for Path 3. Risk, the income ceiling, finite hours in a day. You can get very well off, but true wealth needs leverage. Tip, focus on roles with built-in leverage. Salesperson, commission on multi-million deals. Salesperson, selling small items, less leverage. Programmer, builds script that saves 1,000 hours. Programmer, performs manual tasks, less leverage. Always look for ways to disconnect your input from the output. This is the path of the entrepreneur, the creator, the owner. Path 2 is about building a system that generates revenue independent of your direct hour-for-hour labor. This system can be a business, a product, a piece of software, or a media brand. Instead of selling your time, you are selling a product or a service that can be delivered at scale. This is the great multiplier. While the earner sells 1 hour to one client, the builder sells one product to 10,000 customers. This is the path most people admire, but are too afraid to attempt. It holds both the greatest risk and the greatest potential for reward. The process of building begins with a simple idea. Solve a specific problem for a specific group of people. Step 1 is to identify a pain point. What are people already paying money to solve, but in an inefficient way? This is your opportunity. Step 2 is to create a minimum viable product. This is the simplest possible version of your solution that provides value. Do not spend a year building in a cave. Build a prototype in a week and get it in front of real users. Step 3 is to iterate based on feedback. Your first idea is almost always wrong. The market will tell you what it wants. Listen. Step 4 is to systematize and scale what works. A personal trainer is on Path 1, trading hours for dollars. To move to Path 2, she identifies a problem. Busy professionals want to work out but can't get to the gym. She creates an MVP, a simple PDF guide with 30-minute home workouts, which she sells for $20. She promotes it to her social media followers. It starts to sell. Based on customer feedback, she builds the next version, a video course with follow-along workouts. She hires a virtual assistant to handle customer service and a marketer to run ads. The system now generates income while she sleeps. She has built an asset. The risk here is obvious. Most new businesses fail. The failure rate is high because most people fall in love with their idea instead of the customer's problem. They build things nobody wants. They run out of money before they find a product market fit. The way to de-risk this path is to start small. Test cheap. Keep your day job Path 1 while you experiment with Path 2 on the side. Don't rent a fancy office. Work from your kitchen table. Don't hire a big team. Use freelancers for specific tasks. The goal is to validate your idea with the least amount of time and money possible. Profitability is the ultimate validation. Path 2, building, is the engine of disproportionate wealth, yet it is the one most people skip. They go straight from earning to investing. They work their 9-to-5 job and dutifully put 10% of their salary into the stock market. This is a fine strategy. It is slow, steady, and it works over 40 years. But it lacks leverage. It relies solely on your ability to save and the market's average return. Path 2 is the bridge that can turn a 40-year plan into a 10-year plan. It allows you to generate your own capital, often far more than you could ever save from a salary. You can then pour that into Path 3. The reason people miss it is rooted in fear and cultural conditioning. We are taught to be good employees, Path 1, not owners. The idea of starting a business is framed as incredibly risky. something only special visionaries can do. It's seen as an all-or-nothing leap into the abyss. This narrative is flawed. You don't have to quit your job and risk your life savings. You can start a muse business, a small automated project on the side. Build a small e-commerce store. Write an ebook. Create a niche software tool. Build a paid newsletter. These are Path 2 activities that can be started with less than $1,000 and a few hours a week. Think about the math. If you earn $80,000 a year and save 20%, you have $16,000 to invest. That's your ammunition for Path 3. Now imagine you spend a year building a small online business that, once running, generates an extra $2,000 per month in profit. That's an additional $24,000 per year. You have more than doubled your investment capital. Your timeline to financial independence has been drastically accelerated. The business itself becomes an asset that could be sold, providing a large lump sum of capital. It is a wealth generation machine that you control. Path 3 is investing. This is where you deploy capital to acquire assets that generate more capital. Your money starts working for you. Compounding, the eighth wonder of the world. Path 1 is linear, time for money. Path 2 provides scalable income. Path 3 provides exponential growth. It's the accelerator, turning earned capital onto a geometric growth curve. It requires capital to start, so it follows earning and building. Start as early as possible, even with small amounts. The steps are simple but require discipline. First, have capital to invest, from saving surplus or profits from Path 2. Second, choose your investment vehicle. For most people, low-cost, broadly diversified index funds. Not about hot stocks or timing the market. It's about owning a slice of the whole economy and letting it grow. Other vehicles, real estate, rental properties, bonds, investing in private businesses. Third, be patient and consistent. Invest regularly, reinvest dividends and gains, let time do the work. Consider Sarah. She earned a good salary as a project manager. Path 1. She built a side business selling digital templates. Path 2. She now has $3,000 disposable income per month. Instead of letting it sit, she sets up automatic investments. Every month, $3,000 transfers to brokerage and buys index funds. She doesn't check it every day. She doesn't panic on dips. She lets the system run. After 10 years, consistent investing and compounding created a substantial nest egg. The risks: emotional risk and concentration risk. Emotional risk: panicking and selling at the bottom. Cure: automation and a long-term perspective. Don't look more than once a quarter. Concentration risk: all eggs in one basket. Cure: diversification. Low-cost index funds spread your investment across hundreds or thousands of companies. Practical tip: start now. Open a brokerage account today. Set up an automatic transfer of $50. The amount matters less than building the habit. The 3 paths, earn, build, invest, are not mutually exclusive choices. They are stages in a life cycle. They work together in a synergistic loop. Attempting to master all 3 at once is a recipe for failure. Sequence them. Use the security of one path to fund exploration of the next. Earning provides the seed capital for building. Building generates cash flow for investing. Investing creates a wealth foundation that gives freedom. Progress from one to the next, layering them. Most common sequence: earn to build to invest. Start with a job. Earn to cover living costs and save. Live frugally to maximize surplus. Use a small portion of surplus and spare time to experiment with building. Launch a small product. Launch a service. Launch a piece of content. The side business grows and can out-earn your job. Then you may go all in on the business. Funnel business profits into investments. Build a diversified, long-term portfolio. Alternative: earn to invest to build. Maximize your career income for a decade or more. Live well below your means. Aggressively invest the difference into index funds or into real estate. After 10 to 15 years, your portfolio can generate significant passive income. That income is a safety net. You can quit and pursue a business without pressure. Build something you're passionate about, funded by assets. Regardless of sequence, understand how the paths feed each other. Earning without investing means you will have to work forever. Investing without capital, from earning or building, means growth will be painfully slow. Building without reinvesting profits leaves your wealth tied to one undiversified asset, your business. The magic is the flywheel. Earn a salary and run cheap business experiments. One experiment works, a new income stream. Funnel that income into low-cost index funds. Now 3 engines work for you, not just one. Theory is useless, without action. This essay is a waste of your time if you close this page and do nothing. The goal is to create momentum. Momentum starts with a single, concrete step. We will not set a vague goal like get rich. We'll define the immediate next action based on which path you choose. Pick one, just one, of the following actions. Complete it within the next 24 hours. Write it down. Put it in your calendar. Tell someone you're going to do it. Create accountability. If your focus is path 1, earn, increase your earning power. Identify the single most valuable skill in your industry that you currently lack. Go to LinkedIn or other job sites. Look at job descriptions 2 levels above your role. Note which skills, certifications, or software repeat. Pick one. Find the best-rated online course or book on that topic and purchase it. Spend 30 minutes tonight on the first lesson. A higher salary journey starts with one new skill. If your focus is path 2, build, validate a business idea with minimal risk. Perform a pain audit. Talk to 3 people in a niche you understand. Amateur photographers, new parents, small business owners. Ask, what are the most annoying, time-consuming tasks you deal with? Ask, what would you pay someone to handle for you? Listen for problems, not solutions. Schedule the 3 brief conversations today. A great business starts with a well-understood problem. If your focus is path 3, invest, start automated investing. If you have a 401k or similar, log in and increase your contribution by 1%. You won't notice your paycheck, but it compounds over time. If you don't have an investment account, open one today. Go to a major low-cost brokerage website, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab. The process takes 15 minutes. You don't have to fund it today. Just open the account. Overcome the initial friction. That is the first and hardest step. We have deconstructed the complex world of wealth into a simple, actionable framework. There are only 3 paths. Earn. Earning is your foundation, trading time for money to create a surplus. Build. Building is your multiplier, creating systems that generate income at scale. Invest. Investing is your accelerator, using capital to create more capital through the power of compounding. Most people understand earning and have a vague idea about investing. They completely overlook the transformative power of building, the path with the greatest leverage to accelerate financial independence. You do not need to be a genius. You do not need a lucky break. You do not need to have come from money. What you need is a clear plan and the discipline to execute it. You need to stop chasing 1,000 distractions and focus your energy. Choose one path to master first. If you are just starting out, focus on maximizing your income and savings rate. Earn. If you have some savings and an idea, start experimenting with a small, low-risk business. Build. If you have capital you can afford to set aside, begin the non-negotiable habit of automated investing. Invest. The journey to wealth is not a sprint. It is a marathon composed of thousands of small, consistent steps. It's the extra 1% you save. It's the 30 minutes you spend learning a new skill after work. It's the courage to launch a simple product and see what happens. These small actions, compounded over years, are what separate financial freedom from a life of quiet desperation. The power is in your hands. The map is in front of you. The only thing left is to take the first step. Choose your path. Complete your single action for today. Begin now.